What's up, everybody? It's your boy King Hussle. Yes, is the best money and credit channel on YouTube. So make sure you subscribe and hit the all notification bell. So whenever I drop new sauce, new lessons, new methods, and giveaways, you will be the first one to be notified. You'll be the first one to know what's going on. And hey, you might be the first one to win something for free. So make sure you subscribe and hit the all notification bell on all the YouTube channels. Also, make sure you follow me on all my on my Twitch, King Hustle Live. I do all my freebies and giveaways from those YouTube channels and the Twitch. So make sure you subscribe and hit the all notification bell so you won't miss out on nothing. Also, make sure you follow me on all my social media platforms. All you gotta do is click the title on every video. Once you click the title on every video, at the bottom in the description, all my social media links will pop up. All right, got a lot of fake King Hustle pages out there, so please get a FaceTime verification call or video to make sure you see this face. Make sure you're doing legit business and you're getting what you paid for. All right. And before we get anything started, this is all educational purposes only, not telling anybody to do anything. So let's get this thing started. Hey, let's get this thing started. Hey, what to do, my real King Hustle fans, supporters, subscribers out there, my real Hustle Nation Empire family members, and we are back at it again with the gems, back at it again with the sauce, back at it again with the information that's going to turn you into a boss. So you tired of being a zero? You ready to be a family hero? Listen up, take a seat, get your notepad and get your pen, because you already know when I drop these videos, y'all get them notifications. There's going to be some information that's going to help you win, keep you informed, or keep you entertained. So with that being said, we back at it again with the new bank scams, the new bank methods, the new fraud tactics that's really going on in today's world. That's been getting a lot of people the bag. A lot of people been ended up with this. Why? Because the evolution of this dark world that has been presented to us ever since COVID-19 has taken a dark turn, meaning that first of all, wherever there's money being made, there's going to be some type of scam or fraud being committed because every method out there besides the different loads and things like that is being done. Basically, methods are being done the same way people are doing things legally, from loans, credit cards, lines of credit, cars, apartments, things like that. Most fraud stems from identity theft, and a lot of people have to understand that this world, this dark world, this fraud and scam world, it's not what people think. A lot of people think, oh, I'm gonna get this method and it's one, two, three, I'm gonna make $10,000, $20,000. It's nothing like that. Because first of all, in this world of scams and fraud, people have to utilize their brain. People have to like really think and about what the, like you gotta utilize your brain and know how to utilize your brain. And most people don't even have common sense. I know a lot of people be like, use your common sense, but once you figure out that most people lack common sense and why they do the things that they do, then you'll really understand why the world is the way it is. So yeah, so everything that's being done stems from scams and fraud. Now, like I just said, wherever there's money being made, there's some type of scam or fraud being committed. People are doing the exact same thing to do. People are doing the exact same thing regular people are doing, right? So like I'm trying to get you guys to really understand like the logistics of scams and fraud. Like people don't understand like there's different categories when it comes to scam and fraud. Like you got people who do the methods, and most methods stem from like IT security, database coding, and programs and things like that. Then you got fraud when people do the credit card, debit card, checks, identity theft, and things like that. Like there's different categories, and people don't be understanding that. Everybody think everything is just scamming. No, everything is not scamming. Scam and fraud is two different things, and I explain to you guys all the time that because so a lot of people can know the difference because what we're going to be explaining and talking about today plays a part in people knowing what the difference between a scam and fraudulent activity is. Because a lot of since everybody think everything is a scam, ugh, all right, so everybody thinks everything is a scam, but it's not. And by people not knowing that everything is a scam, basically puts people in certain positions, especially when it comes to banks. There's a lot of new bank methods is going on out here. And it's one bank method that has been taking a rise. Now, check fraud is definitely one of the top bank methods out here. But spoofing has now become one of the top scams with the banks because people, scammers and fraudsters are starting they want to make their job easier. They don't want to go through too much work doing a lot of these methods. So now they figured out about the loopholes in the banks. How banks only cover fraudulent activity, vice versa, scamming activity. Now, what's the difference between the two? Now, I told you guys before. Scammers are people who social engineer, manipulate, or trick people or victims into sending their own money. Fraud is when somebody steals somebody's identity, goes into somebody's account, get credit cards, debit cards, loans, apartments, cars, and other people's names. That's fraudulent activity without their authorization. So that's fraud. Now, when people use the spoof method, that's scamming, right? So what they do is they figure out like, okay, the dark web has evolved, and I'm gonna say that the dark web has definitely evolved from 5 years ago, 10 years ago. The information wasn't so vague. Like you can buy, let's say somebody wanted to buy some profiles or fools. It'd be random fools, but now they got it to the point where you can buy a certain bank databases and fools from different places that help the scammer or the fraudsters do whatever they need. So now people are buying, going to certain, because listen, 6 years ago, a 12-year-old, it was a 12-year-old, and now he's 18 and been playing Minecraft and been watching the TJ X's and the Bandman Kevos and the King Hustles and all these people on YouTube, and now they legal and now they trying to get some money. It's a lot of people like that. So the world has it's crazy how the world has evolved into this type of world of all these young people committing some type of fraudulent activity or some type of dark web activity or some type of compromising or hacking activity to get some funds. Like, and people not understanding how everything is full circle. Everything has something to do with everything. And that's why a lot of my videos, I'll be having to take notes and like stay on point, because if I start talking about this, it's gonna play into another fraudulent activity or another scam, because everything is almost connected. See how I'm talking about something different right now? So understanding spoofing. So we all know about the spoof apps. Spoof apps allows people to, and spoof apps are not illegal. And that's the thing. Spoof apps are not illegal, but people have figured out loopholes. So people figured out like, okay, if I can spoof call my friend and put any number that I want, and I can spoof call anybody, what if I spoof called people and acted like a bank and had them, do this X, Y, and Z? So that's where that came from. So we, everybody get the spoof calls. Everybody been getting them random phone calls and text messages for years now, like potential scam, likely calls, and everything for the past almost 10 years now. That was the beginning, and now things have elevated. So now people are sending out the text messages and actually finding people who got actual bank accounts with these banks. Because if a scammer send out a thread of 100 text messages to people who don't even got this bank, nobody's going to respond. But if they know these new 100 people actually has a bank account with this bank that they're portraying to be, they're going to get a better response rate. So they send a text message out, group text message, boom. Hey, are you trying to make this fraudulent are you trying to purchase blah blah $500 at Best Buy? Hey, are you trying to wire transfer $2,000 out of your account? Like, these are text messages that they're getting. Now, like I said, it's one text message going out to all these different people, the same text message, a group text message. How are they going to know? So people start responding. So once they respond, just like the bank, they go send a text message back saying, okay, somebody from the fraud department will be in contact with you shortly. They call the person acting like they're somebody in the fraud department for that bank. Now, there's different ways and methods that they do when after this point right here. You got some people that will social engineer the person into giving them their login credentials and giving them the one-time password to get into their account. And then you got people that will social engineer the victim into taking out all their own money out the account and giving it to somebody from the government that's going to protect their money. And I did reaction videos on these type of two different type of spoofing methods. So what we're gonna do right now is we're gonna watch and analyze and react to a video where a man in Florida lost out on $100,000 because of this method, and the banks don't want to pay back people their money. The banks only gave that man back $73,000 and told him they're not going to be able to reimburse the rest of the $23,000 because the bank only protects fraudulent activity, not scams. And the only reason that he got the 73 back because he contacted the news and it went on the news. Banks tell us this. In agreements that we sign when we get phones and accounts and things like this, they even put it out all over the place. Banks won't do certain things. And if somebody is doing it, pretending to be a bank, it's a scam, hang up or call your actual bank to make sure that it's real. And people still do it. So with that being said, let's see what happened to this guy in his bank account where $100,000 was compromised, spoofed, tricked him out of sending his own money. Let's see what's going on.
Man had nearly $100,000 taken from his Fidelity investment accounts by fraudsters.
He reached out to NBC 10's consumer investigative reporter Bianca
That's why he got his money back
to share his experience and a warning about keeping your accounts safe.
I got a call from Fidelity one morning. They told me that somebody stole $99,500 from me, and they asked me if I did it, if I transferred that money to a bank in Florida. I mean, I don't go to Florida.
After Alan Mary filed a fraud claim, Fidelity was able to recover more than $70,000 that were transferred out of his trust account. But in an email to Mr. Mary, a Fidelity representative explained that they were unable to retrieve or compensate him for the missing $23,000 because he granted remote access and provided his one-time security password to an unknown third party, resulting in the funds being withdrawn from his account. They explained that is not covered by Fidelity's customer protection guarantee, and his fraud claim was denied.
I keep trying to tell y'all, they don't protect that. They not gonna pay back people money that they already warned us and we signed agreements on. But people don't pay attention. Like, people are like, how do I want to put this? People don't pay attention, and then people play the victim.
Mary challenged Fidelity's decision for months.
The one-time password, they said they texted it to me, but on that day, the day before, and the day after, I got no texts. It's the advantage of being elderly, you don't get as many texts.
In another email, the Fidelity representative said they reviewed the recorded phone call in which Mr. Mary reported the fraud. He said someone claiming to be from fraud detection at Fidelity called him and that the impersonator asked him to download something and took over his computer. The email states Mr. Mary said he received a text code from Fidelity during that phone call and he entered a number.
I keep trying to tell people all these apps, just people doing this, committing these crimes is legal apps. Like, for example, there's an app that people can use called AnyDesk, and that website can help engineers and people like do certain, like, professors and things like that use this for like classes and things like that, so people can like help do certain things. And like, it's a collaboration app, like brings teams on one shared view, so like you could do team projects and stuff like this, and people find loopholes into utilizing these apps. So it's getting real out here.
Were requested by the caller on his laptop.
What do you remember about that phone call, that initial phone call?
Not much. I mean, and Fidelity suggests, and I think they're right, that the first guy that called me may not have been Fidelity.
But you were under the impression that you were
speaking to
Fidelity. I was under the impression I was talking to Fidelity.
Fidelity's media relations department did not respond to our questions about Mr. Mary's case, including why they were only able to retrieve some of the funds, or if they are investigating the recipient of the transferred funds. However, the details the company shared in their emails with Mr. Mary describe an imposter scam, where scammers pose as a financial institution to steal money. The whole ordeal disappointing to Mrs. Mary.
You do something like deposit money in a company like Fidelity, you think it's safe. I was amazed that it was even possible to happen.
Yes, all it can happen.
And a takeaway here is that one-time security codes are used to help prevent unauthorized access to an account. So customers should never share a one-time security code unless they initiated a call to a verified official phone number or while using an official company app or website. And as we saw in this case, sharing those codes can impact customer protections offered by the company.
And that's what's happening. It's affecting the customer's protection, allowing banks not to technically, legally not pay people back their money because it's falling into that category, and people are not paying attention. So it's all about being more safe, being more cautious, and being more aware out there. Like I tell you guys all the time, make sure you guys are getting your Norton Life Lock to monitor all your social and financial accounts to make sure no suspicious activity is going on, and then to monitor the dark web to make sure none of your personal information is on there being sold. So make sure you guys are getting your Norton Life Lock. Make sure you guys are freezing all 3 of your credit profiles, TransUnion, Equifax, and Experience, so nobody can get anything in your name. Make sure you guys are get new credit card and debit card numbers every so often. We tap, swipe, insert, use these cards all day, every day. And every time we do it, store it on the database. So getting a new card with new information is a fresh start. And wherever you use the card before, it no longer be valid. All right. So just keeping yourself safe and ahead of the game out here, what's going on in this real crazy world that we all living in. All right. So shout out to all my Real King Hussle fans, supporters, subscribers out there, because without y'all, there'd be no me. Y'all motivate me keep going. Y'all motivate me keep dropping the sauce, and y'all motivate me keep y'all entertained. So shout out to all of y'all. Anybody out there is tired of being broke because it ain't no joke, let's get to work. FaceTime 101 limited gyms are $1,000, but for limited time only, I'm doing them for $600. Yes, $600 cash app or Bitcoin payment. Once the $600 is on your cash app or Bitcoin balance, send me a screenshot. Let me know you payment ready, and we will go from there. All right, no screenshots, no replies, no 21 questions, and please do not yell me. Make sure y'all book y'all see on the webinars Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, $250. Make sure y'all book y'all see on the crypto tour in person limited gyms, $3,500. Make sure y'all book y'all see on the month-long mentorships, $1,000. Make sure y'all checking out the vendor platforms on Telegram and the Potato app, Millionaire Networking World. Still look for people for the production company. Make sure y'all subscribe and hit the notification bell on all my YouTube channels, my Twitches, IGs, TikToks, Snapchats. Make sure y'all checking out the crypto world because it's changing people's lives. And make sure y'all get in and y'all fit in with these load ups. All right, 120 and up, cash app, Bitcoin payment. Once it's on your balance, send me a screenshot. Let me know you payment ready, and we will go from there. All right. And with that being said, it's your boy King Hussle. Y'all know how I get down in these videos. I'll see you at the next lesson video or live. Peace.